Hey, today I was hoping to inspire you to start a project to transform a piece of furniture in your home really easily. So I'm going to show you here this Deacon's bench that has been mine since I was a little girl, and now it is my son's with just like a half an hour of effort. So I'll show you how you can do the same. So here is my old Deacon's bench. It's hard to tell, but it's really worn and looking really horrible. And it was mine when I was a kid. My dad built it for me, but I'm not doing it any justice. It's really, we had a dog who chewed all over it. It's got stains and watermarks all over it. And it's really just looking quite horrible. I still have it in my son's room, but I'm certainly not loving this piece. And I think a lot of people do the same thing I did, is they have something that has sentimental value, so they're holding on to it, but it's not fitting in with their decor and they don't love it. But they're still keeping it at a sentimental value, so why not change it? Spend a little bit of time either painting or staining and actually make it fit your decor. And that way you can hold on to something that doesn't just have memory, but is also beautiful. I'm gonna stain this walnut with a walnut gel stain. I love gel stain because you don't need any to really sand to use it, and you certainly don't need any talent. You just slap it on and it always looks great. So I'm using a walnut gel stain and we'll see how it looks. So this is after 2 coats. I actually use the same stain I use for my kitchen because after putting on the walnut, it just wasn't dark enough. This is made of pine, so there was a lot of knots, and I just sort of wanted to hide that but still have it look like wood. So I used 2 coats of that Java, and you can still like see the wood grain. It's a little bit streaky, but I kind of liked the way it turned out. So I didn't put a final coat on. I didn't want it to be super dark. I actually really like this color. So I'm going to poly it now with a wipe on poly, just like I did the cabinets. So after 5 seconds of applying poly, it rubbed off the stain. It actually went right down to like below the original stain. Son of a... Sorry, I had to swear a lot there. And Milo's got his truck and oh, welcome to my life. Things don't always work out like I had planned. Okay, so here is the final finished product, even with the mishap. You know what? I should have sanded this first, and I'm going to recommend that you give it a quick scuff. There must have been something on the top. I didn't even wipe it down. I'm so lazy. Don't be lazy like me. Give it a wipe. But the good thing about a gel stain as opposed to a traditional stain, especially this general finishes, which I ended up using, is you don't have to sand to use it. It's actually like a paint, except you can still really see the grain through it. It still really has a wood look. I only did 2 coats, so you can still really see the wood through it. Not quite as dark as my kitchen cabinets turned out, but I'm loving it. And then I just painted some of these letters I got from the dollar store. The S sagged. I glued it with wood glue. I'm gonna have to peel that off and re-glue it back on, but you get the point. It's beautiful. I love it. It was such a beaten down thing, and even with my mishap, it was about a half an hour's worth of work to transform this toy box. So I really want you to, maybe you don't have a toy box like this, but I really want you to consider, maybe you have, an old table or a dresser, something that you've been holding on to because it has sentimental value, but it doesn't necessarily, fit with your decor. Why not gel stain it? General Finishes gel stain, you can purchase it in many places. I'm going to put a link below of where you can buy it if you live here in Canada. You have to order it online if you live here in Canada. But it's great stuff. And I used literally hardly any. I could have done my whole kitchen again with one little can that you buy. So a little bit goes a long way. And make sure you polyurethane over top. I only put 1 coat of poly on this, but you probably want to put a couple coats if it's a high use item like a kitchen table. But I'm hoping to inspire you. Be inspired. Redo a piece of furniture. It's a million times easier than you ever would have thought if you're using a gel stain. No sanding, no stripping, none of that is required. That's your tip. We'll see you next time.